Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at the new, kind of newish 3-0 Godzilla Kaiju Duel Godzilla 1974. This might be a new line that I might start collecting more often, especially after receiving this guy and playing around with him for a little bit. I'm liking it so far, and depending how that Shin Godzilla comes out, I think I might have a new line I may start collecting soon. But is he really worth the price? That's kind of up to you guys to decide by the end of the video. So taking a closer look at the box, I really like the whole design and aesthetic is going for. It's really Godzilla-like, if that makes any sense. I like the vibe, I like the art it's trying to replicate. It looks, fairly tame, but also very, dramatic in its own right. Now, what do we have here? It's second generation form of action figure. It's literally actually the second generation Godzilla. Like, Mezco was the first one to put out rubber Godzilla, and believe it or not, it was 54. Now, the second company to put out a rubberized Godzilla figure is on the second generation Godzilla, 74. The second Showa Godzilla. Yeah, you know what I mean. Detail is pretty nice. I feel like it really translates well with the rubber. Color is a bit bland, obviously, but there are a few spots on him that kind of look highlighted. I'm not really sure. I'll let the camera do the work. For 3-0's first attempt at a Godzilla figure in general, and a rubberized one. It's pretty nice. It feels really rough. Well, not rough, that's durable is what I'm trying to basically say. It feels really durable. It doesn't feel like it'll tear anytime soon. This guy he's a mixed bag, to be honest. He's really good at posing, but he does struggle with a few, poses, but you can make it work. Now, real quick, I want to go over something with the tail. when I first got this guy out of the box and started to mess around with him, I was trying to test the limits of the tail, and to be honest, I'm not sure if it's broken or I just popped out one of the segments out of the tail. But right around here, I was trying to go really down, all the way down, to see how far I could go, and when I got here, I heard a pop, and yeah. He's I don't know if it's broken or it's popped out, but it's haven't been able to pop it back in. So especially it's a little more of a nightmare because it's rubber and it's covered up and I can't pop it out and pop it back in. But the tail wasn't nothing too crazy. You know, it served its purpose. It wasn't the most poseable tail. This isn't like an SH Monster Arts tail or anything like that. But you know, it did its job. It was pretty well articulated. But yeah, it wasn't really 3-0's fault or the figure's fault. It was just mine, just being dumb, and I just did this. Yeah. Now in this section, I'm gonna go over a few of its flaws. Well, it does have a few that are actually kind of, you know, pretty eye-catching, but I would say one of its flaws would be here in the arm, how it's just kind of like, well, obviously it's doing a perfect job and covering what it's not supposed to do. But yeah, this, I know some people will probably not like this, or they'll probably think it looks ugly, but honestly it's not really much of a problem if you know how to hide it well. I do see, like, you know, like this, it looks like you could just pull it back and then just expose the skeleton joint in there, but honestly it's not really much of a bother unless you go out there looking for it. And the legs, I know the first few photos of this guy started to go around, like I remember seeing the short of this guy for the very first time, like, you know, in hand, and they kind of had the legs like this, and people thought that's how it was gonna look like. But no, these are drop down joints, so to allow more range, obviously. But you know, you can still get more range if you know how to hide it well. So it's kind of on you if you make it look kind of ugly, honestly. But you know, it's not really that bad. They're not really noticeable or eye-catching. The legs, you know, those are, you know, what can you do about these? They're on joints, ball joints, so they don't look that bad. They don't distract that bad. Well, personally to me, they don't distract me that bad. But yeah, it's that's kind of wanted to go over. Oh yeah, and I guess the tail too. Tail was kind of weak sauce, even when I temporarily had it functioning like all the way. But yeah, it wasn't too crazy. Really hope they probably step up the tail game once they get around Shin Godzilla, because he's known for a long tail, and I'm pretty excited to see what they do with him. That's some of the flaws, I guess you could say, about 3-0's Godzilla. Now for the price they were asking for this guy, you would at least expect some accessories, right? Well, you'll be correct, because you get 2 cell towers here that he's supposedly to be magnetic too. So here they are. You get 1 thick ass beam. It's pretty heavy. It hurts. That kind of hurt. So if you use this, you can use this as a weapon. And you get 2 pairs of fist hands. Now, how do you change hands? I'm sure you guys know how this works. You know, you pop his hands out and you grab one of the fisted hands. That's the wrong hand. And this is the right one. And yeah, honestly, it's not a big of a problem to switch in and out of hands. I thought it was going to be more of a hassle and like maybe feel like I was going to probably tear like the rubber or something. But nah, they're pretty nice. It don't cause any like stress on the figure or on yourself when you're exchanging the hands. So yeah, I say that's a plus. I like that, especially for this guy, because he's known to throw hands. But yeah, now how do you exchange his mouth, or I guess you should say how do you get this thing into there? So first things first, you get this little tool alongside with this Godzilla. What you want to do is open his mouth. His mouth's already opened, and you want to amputate his tongue. You have a hole and you have a stick. The rest is self-explanatory. And yeah, this atomic breath is pretty sturdy in there. It won't fall. You can shake it. I'm obviously doing this for the video, but no sane person is gonna thug shake their Godzilla. I really love the beam. It's this beautiful translucent color from light blue to white. It's really nice, really heavy. Like I mentioned earlier, hurt myself messing around with it because I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that's really thick plastic. So if this falls, I don't think you guys should worry. It can probably tank a hit, but obviously you guys should take care of this beam because, well, look how beautiful this looks. So yeah, that was just a quick look over at the Godzilla 1974 Kaiju Duel from 3-0. Now, personally, if you would ask me, is this worth it? Is this worth the $176 or so? I would say yes. Simply the fact that he's big, he comes with accessories, and he's rubber. If you're willing to look past the little flaws he has with the joints and how, you know, potentially how easy some of the joints could probably pop off if you're not careful enough with him, then I don't know, I'd say try to wait for a deal or so. But honestly, if they can improve upon, you know, some features and, you know, a little bit on the paint job or so, I'd say this guy's pretty worth it. A pretty solid, you know, start into the line. Definitely a step into the right direction. But yeah, that was my review on this guy. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.